Turning to the consumer, Bank of America and Citigroup are looking into options for a new credit card with a 10% rate as President Trump pushes for a one-year cap on the interest rates. Joining us now is Bloomberg Intelligence's Herman Chan. Herman, what might we get from these banks when it comes to new cards?
Right. So things seem to be pretty fluid right now, but our Bloomberg News colleagues did have some reporting on a potential new card that has the 10% rate cap from both Bank of America and Citi. We think that that could have some modest uptake because really that card offering would be more limited to your prime, super prime cohort that really doesn't carry a balance typically. So it still remains to be seen how it's going to be rolled out, but that's what we know as of now.
Herman, in evaluating these companies, is it your assumption that this takes the regulatory heat, or at least the heat from the president, off of them?
Right. So we view any potential rollout with a 10% rate cap as a PR win for the administration, and it really would reduce some of the overhang for the card issuing banks that we cover. Since that tweet that came out, let's say 10, 14 days ago, the bank stocks are down for our coverage about 5 to 8%. So it has weighed on some of the sentiment. So potentially that could unlock.
I want to ask you just about the potential impact of a broader cap here. I remember what Jane Fraser of Citi said shortly after this was announced via that tweet that you mentioned, that there were studies that would indicate that this would have a huge impact on many Americans' ability to get credit in this country. Is there that corpus of literature? Have there been studies of this? And sort of as you've gamed this out, what would it mean if we saw, yes, that broad cap put in place, and sort of, again, if we move to this latest announcement about this potential card with a 10% rate, what would that mean for the bottom line of these companies, for these big banks?
Yeah, so the banks just wrapped up 4Q earnings season, and collectively they were very dismissive of any potential issue because it would just be devastating for the American consumer. It would really cut off credit for a large swath of Americans and bank customers. I harken back to what we see from the annual stress test for the banks. And the Federal Reserve bakes in a 17% loss rate for credit cards under an adverse scenario. So we're talking about, if rates are capped at 10%, would be grossly unprofitable for the entire industry under that sort of scenario. So banks need to plan and prepare for that sort of thing, and a 10% rate cut would be very unproductive.
Herman, thank you very much for that. Herman Chan of Bloomberg Intelligence.